Hello everyone, I'm Mario and I am a motion designer. In today's tutorial we're going to create together this animation I designed in Cinema 4D some weeks ago. We will cover everything from the creation of the scene from scratch to the final animation, and if you want to know how to render this same scene in Octane render, check the link down in the description, where you can also find a link to my Gumroad profile, where you can download the original Cinema 4D project of this animation for free. So hit like and subscribe to stay updated on future contents, follow me on my Instagram, that is mariomacca.design, and let's jump into the tutorial. Okay, first of all, let's set up our scene. Go to Edit Project Settings and set the frame rate to 25 and the maximum time to 125 frames, so we have a 5-second looping animation. Then, go to Edit Render Settings. In output, I'm gonna choose a square format, so 1080 by 1080. Make sure that the frame rate is equal to the frame rate of your settings. And in frame range, go to All Frames. Okay, now we want to create a cyclorama, the settings for our scene then. So, insert a plane in the scene and let's make this plane way bigger. Then select the plane and holding Shift, insert a bend deformer, so it's applied to the plane. In strength set 90 degrees, and let's decrease the size of the bend deformer, and after that rotate it by 90 degrees. After this passage, increase the weight segments so we have a smoother plane, and let's move it backward just a little bit. Now it's time to add a cylinder in our scene, so let's insert it. And let's change these dimensions. You can follow my dimensions, so you can just go with something you like. Don't forget to increase the rotation segments so it will be smoother, and add just a little bit of fillet, not too much, just a little bit to have better reflection in the render. And let's rename all the layers. Okay, now let's insert a camera and let's activate it. I want to replicate a isometric view, so let's go with a focal length of 200 or something more, and let's position the camera. For this tutorial I'm gonna use the same exact settings I used in my original project. Again, you can feel free to copy them or to experiment with another view. Okay, just a little bit, maybe a little bit higher. And okay, I think this camera angle is perfect for this tutorial. Okay, now let's add a sphere in the scene. Let's move it just a little bit higher. In radius, I go for 80, and don't forget to increase the segments so it will be way smoother. In type, select a hemisphere. After that, copy the sphere holding Ctrl and drag and drop it in the object panel. Let's call them black sphere and gold sphere. Let's rotate the new one to create one single sphere, and let's group them together, selecting both of them and clicking Alt and G to create a group. Let's call this group sphere. But wait, not this time. Delete the group, select a gold sphere, go on this tab and insert a connect object holding Alt, so it's applied to the sphere. And let's put the black sphere inside this connect object. You will understand this later in this tutorial, but for this animation we need a connect object, trust me. After that, let's create some texture placeholders. Again, if you want to render this scene, I have a tutorial for Octane render, so the materials I'm using in this tutorial are just for, again, just placeholders. So let's apply the gold material and the black material to our sphere, and let's move on. Let's hide the sphere for now, holding Alt and clicking on those two little dots, again the connect objects. We need to start building the mechanical part of the fan, so add a tube object in the scene. Again, feel free to experiment with various dimensions and settings. And don't forget to increase the rotation segments as always and to add a little bit of fillet. Then duplicate it, holding Ctrl, and let's make this one a little bit smaller and higher. Okay, sorry, my bad, I'm moving the camera, so I've lost my original view. Click Ctrl-Shift-Z to undo a camera movement, so we can come back to the original camera view. And this time, let's not forget to add a protection tag to the camera, so we can't move it by accident. And let's keep on creating the mechanical part. Okay, I think I'm good for now, so let's move to the next step. Now we need to create the single piece of our giant fan. So insert a cube in the scene. Let's make it smaller, something like this. You can help yourself with the other views. And I remember you that you can see the other views clicking on the scroll button of your mouse. So let's do something like that. And let's increase the subdivisions of the cube, because we need to apply some deformations, and the more segments we have, the better the deformation will be. And don't forget to click NA to hide the lines of your objects, or NB to show them. Right now I'm gonna go for hiding the lines. Let's rename the layers. And then selecting this cube, go on the deformers and let's add a twist deformer, again holding Alt, so it's applied to an object, and let's increase the strength, the angle. Okay, we need to rotate the twist deformer, and let's change the size accordingly to the one of the cube. Something like that, I think it's okay. Again, help yourself with the other views. And now let's apply the twist deformation, increase the angle, see, something like that. If the result is not smooth enough, just increase the subdivisions. By the way, you can hide the purple box of the deformers, just hiding the object in the scene, but don't click on the green tick, because that activate and deactivate the deformer. So let's hide the purple box for now, and let's add another deformer, this one a taper. So again, if we increase the strength of the taper, nothing is happening because the direction is wrong. So again, rotate the taper, make the purple box similar to the cube. You can see right now something is happening if we change the strength value. With the taper deformer, we can basically make one side of our object bigger or smaller. But for a propeller, probably we need to invert the taper direction. So select the deformer and let's rotate it by 180 degrees. And now it's just about finding the perfect strength value or moving the deformer to have more control, so it's up to you. And this is why I like to hide the purple boxes of the deformers, because too much lines, they are very distracting. Okay, so let's move the propeller down in the scene, something like that. Okay. Now go to MoGraph. Let's insert a clone in the middle of our scene. So without selecting any object before inserting the cloner. Let's put the propeller inside the cloner and let's call this cloner fun. Let's change the mode to radial. Let's find the plane to have the rotation, the clone we want. Okay, this one is what we need for this tutorial. Let's increase the count. 6 is okay. Let's play with the radius. Let's take a moment to rename all the layers of the composition. Okay, now it's time to add a giant bolt that keeps everything connected. And this is just a quick tip, but if you think your scene is just poor or not interesting, just add some elements. You can do this easily but just using the standard objects of Cinema 4D, because the more elements you insert in the scene, the more realistic it seems, also more interesting. This is just a personal habit, but something I usually do a lot of time is maybe after I've created all the composition, all the animation, I tend to watch my scene again and try to see if I can add some elements. Very small elements that give my scene a different look and make the whole animation more interesting. Okay, once we've created our bolt, let's put everything under one group. And after that, let's activate our sphere again. Now let's jump into the animation part of the tutorial. First of all, we need to make the fan spinning around in this direction, so the airflow will go up. Okay, so let's set the first frame of the rotation to 0. Let's keyframe it and then go on the last frame and let's put 720 degrees, so to spinning. Then go on the timeline curve, select both keyframes and set the animation to linear, since we are creating a loop animation. And let's hit play. Okay, it's super slow. Let's increase the ending keyframe. Just do it at multiples of 360, so you will have a perfect looping animation. You can do this easily, just write in 360 by one number, for example 7 or 8 or whatever you like. Let's hit play. Okay, I think this rotation speed is okay for this animation, so let's move the ball. Let's select the connect object we've created before and click Alt-G to create another group. You will understand this in a moment. Just follow me on this. So we have a sphere group with inside of it a connect object. Let's select the sphere group and let's animate the position to make it go up and down, then up again and down again. And since this is a looping animation, it is very important that the first height value is equal to the last one. So you can do every spinning up and down you want, but make sure that the first frame and the last frame have the same number. Okay, first I tried to subdivide the timeline in 25 frames, but I don't really like it, so let's do it again. So let's set the first keyframe and the last one to be the same. Let's try to animate the position every 30 frames, so it will work better than now. Okay, let's hit play and let's see what happens. See, it's going up and down, up and down. Let's hit play. And okay, I like it. We can make the animation way better, just going on the timeline and moving the curve of the animation. So let's select all of them. And holding Control, let's do this. And see what happens. Okay, I like the movement, but maybe it's a little bit too strong. Just better. Let's decrease the value. Okay, this is just going back and forth and try to have something you like. Okay, maybe one thing we can do is select both keyframes on top and maybe just moving them down just a little bit, because I think now the animation is moving too much. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, and now it's time to understand why I choose to create a connect object and not just a single group to the sphere. Let's select the sphere main group and add a displacer deformer. Go on object and let's leave as it is. Now let's go on shading, and in shader click this icon and select noise. See what's happening. Okay, so what's happening here? If you came from After Effects, maybe you know what a displacement map is. It's the same mechanism. If you are not, I'm gonna explain right now. Basically, we are just saying that that black and white image we've just generated, that basically is our noise, to deform our object using the black and white values of the image itself. Where the image is black, we have a full transformation. Where instead the image is white, we have no transformation. And we have mid steps of transformation where the image is gray. The more darker, the more stronger is the deformation. Okay, let's jump to the noise panel again, and here we have a bunch of different options to have more control on the rules that generate this black and white image. So for example, let's increase the global scale by a lot. See what's happening. We've created a smoother sphere. Let's look for a second to the connect object, and now you will understand why we used it. So let's duplicate the connect object and let's hide one of them for now. Let's delete it and take the bot sphere and create a group. Something like that. So we have a standard group here. See what's happening. The bot faces are not connected. They are deformed, yes, but they are treated like two separate objects. And this is why we use the connect object here. Because with this tool, we can trick Cinema 4D to interpret our sphere like a single object. Okay, let's jump into the noise panel again and let's fix the noise. So again, it's up to you. For this animation, I'm just gonna increase the global scale because I want like a liquid effect to apply to the sphere. Now let's go to animation speed and let's put something like 5. Then hit play. See, we've just moved in the black and white image, so our deformation is moving, and in loop period you can specify after how much time the animation has to loop. If you put 1, it means that every second the animation will loop. If you put 2, every 2 seconds, and again. Since we are creating a looping animation in 5 seconds, you can also insert 1 or 5. With 5, maybe you will have more variation on the noise, so again, it's up to you. And you can also play around with the settings, with global scale, relative scale, and blah 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 blah. Just experiment. The noise panel is amazing. And in case you don't really like the deformation or you want to try something else, go on the noise drop-down menu and you have a bunch of different noises to play around with. Bear in mind that not every one of them you can choose the animation seed and loop period. I am not gonna show you all of the noises Cinema 4D has to offer, but again, it's up to you. Just have fun and do something crazy here. Okay, now it's almost done. We need to make our animation more interesting, and for doing this, Go on the first frame of the animation and let's put random values to the rotation. Completely random, honestly. Let's keyframe all of them. Let's go to the final keyframe and let's confirm the rotation again, so our animation will loop. Then go on a middle point of the timeline and insert other random values to the rotation and confirm the transformation. Let's hit play. And we did it! This is the animation we wanted to achieve. You can play around with the rotation, the movement of the sphere, and everything you want. And that's it for this tutorial. If you want to know how to render this scene with Octane render inside of Cinema 4D, go take a look at the link up here. And my original Cinema 4D file is also available for free download, just check the link in the description. If you like this video, like and subscribe to my channel to stay updated on future contents, and if you have any questions or you want to share any feedback you want, feel free to write something in the comments or reach me on my Instagram, that is mariomacca.design, and tag me if you create something using my tutorials, because I would love to see your creations. See you in the next video, bye!